Hello there, and welcome back to another Fountain Pen Friday. What we have here is our swatch book. But as I've been promising in the comments, so much was done, not that much, but some. I went and did a live stream where I migrated everything over to my Rhodia book. We've changed up a little bit where we're now doing a crosshatch water test too, so we can test how well it holds up. Yeah, what we're working on. So I moved over all the inks that we've done so far. That's only partially true, actually. I did not get to the royal blue. It will be added. I had left it at school, so I had to go next time I went to work. I picked up my royal blue, brought it home, and we will never be able to get the noodlers because I'm out. But that's not what we're here for today. That's just an update. So from now on, we're using this. I'm very excited about that. Here we go. Here we go. This is our color today. Using the Jinhao Tramol gray gold. Right here. It's also, oh look, we got our sheen, or sorry, our shimmer collection down there. So cool. Oh, it's already mixed in. Too bad. It's an interesting ink. It's an interesting ink. Let's go ahead and we'll do some writing with it. We will do our swatching and then we'll see how we feel about it. All right, let's get started. Alrighty, here we go. So, interesting thoughts that I've had about this thus far. I'm a bit surprised. This is about the paper, I'm sorry. I'm a bit surprised at how much and how little of a difference the paper has made. It's interesting. I expected it to be more or less of a difference, and it ended up being somewhere in between my expectations. It's interestingly how yellow everything's looking. It's not that yellow here. Interesting. I'll have to play with my lighting going forward. Alright, what am I gonna write? We always write geography. Geography. Alright, let us, what do we want to do? We'll do little squiggles, huh? Loop-de-loop. So I've had some issues with this ink overall. I'm not seeing it right now, but it has just quit out on me a few times while writing. It's really dry and sputtery, and but I'm not getting that this time at this very moment. Light, hard. Oh, there, we got it there at the end. Yeah, I'm once again, I don't know if it's the pen giving up or if it's the shimmer just plugging everything up. I don't know. I clean it out really well every time I switch over, so altogether it's rather confusing for me. Color-wise, writing with it, you know what? We'll talk about that while we're doing the swatch. Let's talk about that while we're doing the swatch. Let's pop on over. All right, here we go. Let's get our scribble in. So the gray on this has been kind of enjoyable. It's something I find I can actually use without too much worry about it feeling super unprofessional. It is good enough. It's a good enough that it's nobody really notices it's a weird off black. They just accept it. The shimmer, I find it more muted than I found it in some of the other Tramols. It's there, but it just doesn't read as much. Maybe it doesn't have enough contrast against the gray. It's hard to be 100% sure why. Let me get this bottle open here. That was interesting. Alrighty. I'll tell you one thing I've really loved about this paper is it refuses to bleed. I mean, it has, but not to the degree of prior papers. All right, I will shut up now. We can watch this dry, and then we will talk. All right, then the ink is dry. It does take the water droplet quite a while to dry. And I found, if you look towards our past, it didn't usually do this until quite a while after I thought it was dry already. Like I can see it's still wet. The paper's warped, but that doesn't matter. We'll come back to it. Let's look at this all under the microscope. All right, one thing I noticed from my last video is I moved around too much and made myself dizzy, so you guys had to have been dizzy too. So I'm going to be much more careful about that with the microscope, not moving around a ton. What we've got here is the J and the I in my Jinhao. And yeah, you can see the sparkles. Not bad. You can see some of the shading. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool ink. Let's move over to the scribbles. Here we see the scribbles, and they're showing off the shading and the shimmer. Man, I love how you can see the fiber in the paper. Very cool. All right, let's move over to the swatch now. All right, here we can see on the right-hand side of the screen, one pass. The top and that glowing white is clean paper, and the darker portion is the two passes. You can see quite a bit of that shimmer. We will get a closer look here shortly. We're going to go to the full magnification, but first, let's take a look at the smudge. And here is the T from wet. You can see where my finger has drugged the wet ink off. Trailing away, a lot of shimmer hiding in that. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at the crosshatch with the water drop. And here is our crosshatch with the water on it. It is pulling the ink straight off the paper and smearing it. I expect it will, when fully dry, will look like the others, which is going to be a stained blob with a few lines sticking out of it. This is exactly what I saw from the other ones as they were doing it. Very interesting. All right, so let's go to the full magnification, and we'll just do the swatch, I think. All right, here we are in the thicker of the two areas of the swatch. You can really see a lot of the, man, it is just so cool every time. I'm always surprised at how cool it is. All right, we're gonna slide over very slightly. I tried my best here for you guys, but here's the lesser, the single pass, and it comes out much grayer, lighter gray, and not as much shimmer, unsurprisingly. All right, so let's go back to the full page and final thoughts. So that is Tramol's Gray Gold. I like it. Gray ink, gold shimmer, what's not to like? The only issue I've really faced is I've had a few flow issues And as I said, I can't be positive it isn't my pen. I do like it more in the darker than I like it in the lighter. I just don't have a lot of room in my life for something that I don't want to call it pastel. Faded, I guess. I don't know. But this darker one, I definitely could use every day. If it always wrote like this, I would have it in my pen all the time. I like it. The problem is, honestly, it's the flow. The flow. It'll always come back to that for me. When I'm writing, I want it to write. I don't want to have to go back, fix, try and troubleshoot. I just want it to work. And I've been having increased problems with that lately, and I don't know if it's my pen or if it is the shimmer. I feel like it's probably the shimmer, but who's to know? Yeah, so there we go. Our next video is going to be of this ink. Let's get this out of the way. It is another Tramol. If you guys want to take a guess at what this one is, please do. But big things coming up in our future. I'm actually going to be able to do some pen reviews. I've been waiting for this paper to arrive before we could do the TWSBI review. I haven't actually had a chance to review my TWSBI. I haven't, and I want to. I'm excited to actually try it out and share my thoughts on it with some decent paper. I'd like to do after a few months review of my Jinhao. I've got another pen coming in, and we've got some other pens here I wouldn't mind talking about with you guys. If you're interested in seeing them, I'm sure you guys are since you're here. We've got the Ink Pod. That's a interesting pen. The Kakuno, the Pilot Kakuno. Happy to talk about that. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've had fun. Hope I've earned your subscription. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.